My greetings to everyone. I am Professor Namita Rajput, Professor in Department of Commerce, Sri Aurobindo College, University of Delhi. In the ongoing series of Principles of Marketing, today we will be talking on new product development and the product life cycle. Let's dwell into the definitional part of new product development. Product development is the process of creating a new product or improving an existing one to meet the needs and the desires of the consumers. And it involves the entire journey of bringing a new product from the concept to the actual market, including the idea generation, the design, the prototyping, testing, and of course, the launching. The goal of the product development is to create the innovative and competitive product that can generate value for both the company and its customers. Let's see what Philip Kotler has to say. According to Philip Kotler, a renowned marketing expert, he has emphasized the importance of understanding the customer needs and the market trends in the product development process. Now, according to him, the successful product development requires a deep understanding of the consumer behavior, the market dynamics, and the competitive landscape in order to create the products that offer the superior value and resonates with the target market. Now, introductory lines on the product development. Product development is definitely a very crucial and a critical aspect of the business strategy as it drives innovation and growth by bringing the new and the improved products to the market. It involves a series of stages that actually require the cross-functional collaborations, a deep market research, and of course a deep understanding of the consumer preferences. Successful product development requires a combination of creativity, the technical expertise, and the strategic planning to ensure that the resulting products meet the customer needs and stand out in the marketplace. Now, whether it's a new invention, an enhancement to an existing product, or completely a new offering, the product development plays a very vital role in the success of the business across the industries. Now, we will be talking on the importance of the new product development. The new product development is definitely very crucial for the business to innovate, meet the changing customer needs, and stay competitive in the market. It also enables the companies to introduce the fresh offerings, enhance the customer satisfaction, and drive the growth. Now, it is being new to the world, that is introduction of a revolutionary electric car with the groundbreaking battery technology. Introducing a new product line to enter the existing product sectors. A well-established smartphone, the company launching a line of smart home security devices. Now again, adding to the existing product lines, a very popular beverage company expanding its product line to include a new range of energy drinks, and also making some improvements and also the revisions to the existing products. A leading software company releasing an updated version of its flagship productivity suite with enhanced features. Now, basically, we also talk about repositioning part and retargeting of the existing products to the untapped market segments. Now, a traditional watch manufacturer targeting the fitness market with a new line of smart watches. We also talk about the cost reduction. An electronics company implementing more efficient manufacturing process to reduce the cost of its smartphone and also meeting the evolving customer needs. A tech company developing a new mobile app that uses the augmented reality to provide the virtual interior design consultations and catering to the growing demand for remote services in the home improvement industry. Now, staying competitive in the market. A well-established fast food chain introducing a plant-based burger option to compete with the rising trend of vegetarians and the vegan diets, and also the driving growth and the revenue. A clothing retailer expanding its product line to include the eco-friendly and sustainable fashion items to tap into the growing market for environmentally conscious products, enhancing brand image and the relevance. A legacy consumer electronics company revamping its product range to include the smart home devices, aligning with the trend towards the interconnected and automated living spaces, and also adapting to the technological advancements. An automotive manufacturer integrating advanced driver assistance systems into its new vehicle models to meet the increasing consumer demand for the safety and the automation features in the automobiles. We also talk about meeting the evolving customer needs. A tech company developing a new mobile app that uses the augmented reality to provide the virtual interior design consultations, catering to the growing demand for the remote services in the home and also improvement industry. We also talk about staying competitive in the market. A well-established fast food chain introducing a different kind of burgers for the vegetarians and the vegan diets. A clothing retailer expanding its product line to include the eco-friendly and sustainable fashion items to tap into the growing market for environmentally conscious products, enhancing the brand image and the relevance. A legacy customer electronics company revamping its product range to include the smart home devices, aligning with the trend towards interconnected and automated living spaces. Now, adapting to the technological advancements. An automotive manufacturer integrating advanced driver assistance systems into its new vehicle models to meet the increasing consumer demand for safety and automation features in the automobiles. So that means we also talk about adapting these technological advancements and enhancements into the product. Now, the examples which we have discussed, they actually clearly showcase how the new product development is very essential for the business to adapt to the changing market dynamics, remain competitive, and also fulfill the evolving needs and the preferences of the consumers. Once a product is created and also introduced in the marketplace, the offerings must be managed very effectively for the customer to receive the value from it. Only if this is done will the product producer achieve its profit objectives. and also only when it is done will the producer achieve its profit and be able to sustain the offerings in the marketplace. So the process involves making many complex decisions, especially if the product is being introduced in the global markets. Now, before we talk about introducing the products in the global markets, an organization must evaluate and understand the factors in the external environment, including the laws and the regulations, and the economy and the stage of economic development, the competitors and the substitutes, the cultural values and the market needs, and also the companies need some expertise to successfully launch the products in the foreign markets. Now there are given many possibilities and the possible constraints in the international markets. The companies might initially introduce the product in the very limited areas to see the response. And also the product development is very critical aspect of the business strategy, which is driving innovation and the growth by bringing the new and the improved products to the market. It requires a combination of creativity, the technical expertise, and also the strategic planning to meet the customer needs and stand out in the marketplace. So this successful product development is very essential for the business to adapt to the changing market dynamics, remain competitive, and fulfilling the evolving needs and the preferences of the consumers. So let's have the key points as of what we have discussed right now. The product development drives innovation and the growth by bringing the new and the improved products to the market. It requires a combination of creativity, the technical expertise, and the strategic planning. So the successful product development helps the business adapt to the changing market dynamics, remain competitive, and fulfill the consumer needs. Now let's move on to a new topic called product life cycle. Now let's see what the concept of the product life cycle is all about. The product life cycle is a fundamental marketing concept that elucidates the stages through which a new product progresses from its introduction to the market until it's eventually discontinued. It encompasses the different stages like the pre-introductory stage, the primary stage, the growth, maturity, and also the decline stage. Now, during the introduction phase, the product experiences the low sales, substantial investment in the promotion and also the distribution. The growth stage is characterized by the rapid sales expansion, leading to increased profitability. As the product enters the maturity phase, there are sales peak and the market saturation occurs. And finally, the decline stage sees the decrease in the sales and also of the profits, often due to shifting the consumer preferences, or probably it is due to the technological advancement that there is a drive to purchase the different products compared to the product which they were using before. Now this framework, what we are discussing right now, gives the business in making strategic decisions throughout the lifespan of a product. It's a very important aspect which they always have to keep in mind while doing the business right from introduction to the decline stage. It gives them the lesson to grow and expand their business. Now let's explore some important definitions relating to product life cycle. According to Philip Kotler and Gary Armstrong, The product life cycle is the course of a product sales and profit over its lifetime. It involves the distinct stages: the product development, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Now, according to Stentel, Edsel, and Walker, the product life cycle represents the stages that the product goes through in the marketplace, including the introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Now, it provides a framework for understanding and managing the evolution of a product and its associated and linked marketing strategies as it moves through these distinct phases. Now, there are few assumptions of the product life cycle which needs to be kept in mind and incorporated in the market strategy and in the business. The product life cycle concept is based on several key assumptions that really helps to guide the marketing and the strategic business decision making for the products. Some of the primary assumptions of the product life cycle include the limited life span. The concept assumes that all the products have a limited lifespan and will eventually decline in sales and profitability. Now, this assumption recognizes that the consumer needs and the preferences, they change over time and they are not constant, and the new technologies and the innovations can render the existing product obsolete. Now, as we have seen the humans, the needs are evolving, the needs keep changing as we are surrounded by the dynamic environment, owing to which the fashion, the preferences, the needs, desires of the consumers, they are ever changing. And also talking about the new technology which is actually changing with the blink of an eye. So considering this kind of an environment around us, so the lifespan of a product becomes obsolete very soon. Now, there are some other assumptions also which needs a particular mention, like predictable patterns. The product life cycle assumes that most of the products, they follow a predictable pattern of the introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. While the duration of each stage, it may vary. So this model suggests that the products generally move through these stages in a sequential manner. Now, also talking about the assumption of sales and profits. The concept assumes that the sales and the profit for a product will vary over time in a consistent pattern. The sales typically starts low, then increase during the growth phase and peak in the maturity stage and decline in the decline phase. Similarly, the profits are expected to follow a similar pattern, peaking during the maturity phase and declining during the declining stage. Now, let us talk about some marketing strategies as an assumption pattern. The product life cycle assumes that different market strategies are actually required at each stage of the cycle to maximize the product, actually the potential are we talking about. Now, as and when we keep changing the cycle or the product undergoes the different stages of the product cycle, the marketer has to keep changing the marketing strategy accordingly. Now, for example, during the introduction phase, the heavy investments in the promotion and distribution is required, and of course it is necessary. While in the maturity phase, the efforts may focus on the differentiation and the market share retention. Now let us talk about the product development in this regard. The concept assumes that the companies must continually develop the new products to replace those in decline and to sustain the growth. Now, this assumption emphasizes the need for innovation and the product development to maintain a competitive edge in the market. There is also an assumption of the consumer behavior. The product life cycle assumes that the consumer behavior evolves as the product progresses through its life cycle. Now, this includes the changes in purchasing habits, attitude, and preferences, which can influence the demand for the product. Now, there is also an assumption of the competitive pressures. The concept assumes that the competitive pressures will intensify as the product moves through its life cycle. The new entrants may emerge during the growth phase, and the existing competitors may employ some aggressive strategies in the matured markets, leading to the price competition and also the innovation. There is also an important mention about the technology and the innovation. The product life cycle assumes that the technological advancements and the innovation, they play a very significant role in shaping the life cycle of the products. The new technologies can actually lead to the obsolescence of the existing products and drive the emergence of a new product categories. We also talk about the product differentiation in this regard. As the products, they move through the life cycle, the constant and the concept of the product assumes that the emphasis on the product differentiation may change. In the introduction and the growth phase, the differentiation may be more focused on the product features and also its benefits. While in the maturity and the decline phase, the differentiation may shift to branding, to customer service, or to reducing or increasing the price, because we want to retain the customers. So the focus shifts on the consumer demands. Now, there are some economic and environmental factors. The product life cycle also assumes that the external economic and environmental factors can actually influence the duration and the shape of each life cycle stage. The economic conditions like industry regulations, the market trends can actually impact the consumer demand, the product cost, and the overall competitiveness of the products in the market. Now, these assumptions, they collectively underpin the product life cycle concept and provide a framework for the business to evaluate and manage their product portfolios in response to the changing conditions and the consumer dynamics. So, these assumptions collectively have to be taken in one frame, and then the market changing conditions, the consumer dynamics, all have to be evaluated in terms of putting the market strategies in place. Thank you so much.